Welcome to Science Lab. The signs are happening because Jesus is coming. Every day we are looking at some of the signs that are happening around us. In this episode, we are going to see about the strange things that are happening in the sky.
US challenged in the final frontier. The Pentagon has been warned. Assume your infrastructure has already been hacked.
Space has been called the final frontier. The United States has been an unrivaled power in the domain. But 50 years after, it landed the first man on the moon. America now has strong competition. Earth's orbit is being militarized.
A July 1st, 2019 report released by London-based Chatham House, the Royal Institute of International Affairs warns that the US is vulnerable.
From 1990 to 1991, during the first Gulf War, 10% of US weapons used space-based guidance systems such as satellite positioning. In the 2001 mission in Afghanistan, 60% of US weapons were precision-guided, with many receiving data that allowed them to alter their own course to hit a target. By the 2003 invasion of Iraq, the number of space-reliant US weaponry had risen to 68%, Chatham House reported. And over the course of that war, from 2003 to 2011, US reliance on commercial satellites rose 560%. Until recent years, the US had little to fear in space. It continued to operate the world's most advanced space flight system, the Space Shuttle. Today, the US is still a leader, but it has cancelled the Space Shuttle program altogether, and its rivals are rising. The Chatham House report states, vulnerabilities in the strategic infrastructure could result in severe consequences of international security. In the event of crisis escalation, such as in Ukraine, the Middle East, or in South Asia, the assumption is that weapon system will perform as planned, but this should not be taken for granted. America's first rival space was the Soviet Union. The Soviets achieved several space milestones before the Americans, but the latter won the space race decisively, and the Soviet Union was bankrupted in the process. Russian President Vladimir Putin, believing the collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the century, is reviving Russia's space program. GLONASS, Russia's version of America's GPS, began as a 1970 Soviet military communication system experiment. In 1982, the commercial application of GLONASS became known with the launch of its first satellite. It was declared fully operational in 1993 and currently operates 24 satellites. GLONASS capabilities lag far behind GPS, but Russia continues to develop it in order to make the country less reliant on the United States. In the past, the US has cut GPS signals in certain locations during Russian military campaigns. There are concerns that Moscow is using GLONASS offensively, intentionally sending out incorrect data. A March 26, 2019 report by the Washington, D.C.-based Center for Advanced Defense Studies noted that the GLONASS attacks are emerging as a viable disruptive strategic threat. The study found 9,883 suspect instances for Russia's spoofing since February 2016. The report noted that these occurred across 10 locations, including Russian conflict zones in Crimea, Syria, and Ukraine.
There is also evidence that Russia has purposefully interfered with NATO satellite signals. During a NATO exercise in October 2018, the Finnish government issued a notice to airmen due to widespread interference in GPS signals. Russia was believed to be behind the attack.
One of the means China could use to do this is through its own rival to GPS, China announced that its Beidou navigation system had gone global on December 27, 2018, 2 years ahead of schedule. It now operates the world's largest fleet of satellites.
Beidou enables China military to make precision strikes without relying on America's GPS. Alexandra Sykes of the Royal United Services Institute for Defense and Security Studies said that Beidou could also be used to deny or degrade the signal received by other users of the system. Beidou has already shipped over 70 million systems to more than 90 countries. These systems include technology that connects with the Chinese satellite navigation system, but they may also include technology that would allow the Chinese government increased ability to infiltrate and attack computer systems. On November 7, 2018, Russia and China signed the agreement on peaceful use of Beidou and GLONASS between People's Republic of China and the Russian Federation to facilitate the large-scale cooperation in the satellite navigation field between the two countries. China has also rapidly advanced its space exploration capabilities.
And now it's time for the trivial question of the day. What is Chang'e 4?
Here your options are: Option A, first Chinese spacecraft to land on the moon. Option B, first Russian spacecraft to land on the moon. Option C, first Indian spacecraft to land on the moon.
The answer will be given after a short break.